The flickering candlelight danced across the pages of a forgotten history. In the quiet solitude of Dhaka University's archives, ancient Bengali manuscripts whispered secrets only a few could hear. I, Arif Rahman, an archaeologist driven by a relentless curiosity, was one of them. The fragile maps and faded inscriptions spoke of a lost dynasty, a treasure hidden for centuries beneath the sacred soil of Mahasthangarh. A storm was brewing outside, mirroring the excitement churning within me. With a trembling hand, I marked a potential route on the map. This was it, the culmination of years of research. There was only one person I could trust on this journey, my adventurous friend and photographer, Tanim. I picked up the phone, my voice steady despite my racing heart. Tanim, I said, I think I've found it. Pack your bags. We're going north. Unbeknownst to us, our hushed conversation didn't go unheard. In a nearby tea stall, shrouded in steam and shadows, sat Rafiq Mollah. His ears, trained to catch whispers of opportunity, latched onto our words. A smuggler of stolen relics, Rafiq's world revolved around greed. As we finalized our plans, a sinister smile spread across his face. He saw not history, but gold. As he slipped away into the night, he was already one step behind us, a shadow determined to claim the prize. The train to Bagura was a rhythmic lullaby, its wheels clattering against the tracks, a steady beat against the backdrop of monsoon clouds gathering on the horizon. The landscape blurred into a watercolor of vibrant green rice fields and rivers veiled in mist. While I pored over my maps, cross-referencing ancient texts with modern cartography, Tanim was lost in his own world. Through his camera lens, he captured the fleeting beauty of the countryside. The raindrops on the window, the faces in the passing villages. We were absorbed in our own worlds, completely unaware that a few compartments away, a pair of hungry eyes watched our every move. Rafiq was patient, a predator tracking his prey. We arrived at Mahasthangarh as dusk painted the sky in hues of purple and orange. The air was thick with the scent of rain-soaked earth and the profound, haunting silence of ruins that stretched as far as the eye could see. The weight of centuries settled upon us as we stepped off the train, the ancient city's energy almost palpable. This wasn't just a sight of crumbling stones. It was a living, breathing testament to a glorious past, and we were about to walk right into its heart. The next morning, the sun broke through the clouds, casting long shadows across the ancient citadel. Cracked temple pillars stood like skeletal fingers pointing to the sky, surrounded by broken sculptures and courtyards reclaimed by nature. Time felt suspended here, each stone a silent witness to history. As we navigated the overgrown paths, I felt an electrifying connection to the past. It was near the remains of a small shrine that I found it, a carved stone tablet half buried in the soil. It depicted a constellation of stars and a prominent serpent motif. My heart hammered against my ribs. This wasn't just decoration, it was a celestial map, a guide. I was certain it would lead us to the final resting place of the last Pandra king. As night began to fall once more, a chilling quiet descended. The only sounds were the distant calls of owls. But we were not alone. Lurking in the deep shadows, Rafiq and his men watched, their patience wearing thin, waiting for the perfect moment to make their move. Following the clues on the tablet, the stars led us not up, but down. Beneath the altar of that same old shrine we found it, a set of hidden stairs concealed by a loose flagstone. As we lifted the heavy stone, a cloud of dust billowed out, carrying the scent of age, decay, and something else, something sacred. Water dripped from the ceiling, each drop echoing through the tunnel like a whisper from a forgotten soul. We were walking through a storybook written on stone. We were so engrossed we didn't hear the soft splashes behind us. Rafiq was closing in, his men following silently, their shovels and ropes a grim promise of what was to come. The murals were a puzzle, a visual narrative leading to a final answer. My eyes scanned every detail, every crack in the plaster. Then I saw it. A panel, more damaged than the rest, showed a king placing a golden chest into the ground under what the inscription called the serpent's gaze. But the mural didn't depict a burial deep underground. The artwork clearly pointed back towards the surface, to a location near a prominent statue that faced north, toward a large pond. It was a decoy. The real treasure wasn't in the tunnels at all. Tanim, look, I whispered, tracing the lines on the wall. He quickly marked the new location on his map. Just then, a sudden flurry of movement erupted from the ceiling as a colony of bats, disturbed by our lights, swirled madly above us. The air felt electric, like the ruins were holding their breath. We had to get back up. When we finally surfaced, the sky was wild, lightning flashed, and the rain started pouring down. The storm broke with a fury. Rain fell in blinding sheets, turning the ground to mud. Through the deluge, we saw it. The serpent statue loomed, its stone eyes gleaming in the lightning. We dove in, digging frantically, mud flying everywhere, but we didn't care at all. The roar of the thunder was deafening, a symphony of nature's power that completely masked the sound of approaching footsteps. They emerged from the mist like ghosts, silent and menacing. Rafiq and his men had us surrounded. Lightning flashed again, illuminating the scene in a stark, terrifying freeze frame. Their faces were masks of pure greed. In that single electrifying moment, under the roaring sky, our two worlds collided, the quest for knowledge against the lust for gold. Chaos erupted as the storm raged on. Tanim, quick on his feet, snapped a photo, the flash momentarily blinding Rafiq and his crew. They stumbled back, and that's when I seized my chance. With adrenaline pumping, I plunged the shovel into the mud one last time. It hit something solid, a deep thud. I cleared the dirt, revealing not a wooden box but an ancient stone chest, locked with rusted metal straps. Suddenly, the ground shook, and a deafening crack echoed as lightning struck the serpent statue, causing water to pour from its hollow eyes. What a dramatic sight! Tanim and I pried the chest open, the lock groaning in protest. Inside, on a bed of faded silk, was the lost treasure of the Punjab Kingdom: gold coins, jeweled ornaments, and a solid gold royal seal, all shining in the stormy light. It was real! Rafiq, now able to see, let out a triumphant shout and lunged for the treasure. But the ground, soaked and unstable, had one last trick. It gave way, and he disappeared into a hidden sinkhole, swallowed by the very ruins he wanted to claim. Just like that, the storm began to calm, leaving only the soft sound of rain dripping from the temple arches. Dawn broke over Mahasthangarh, painting the wet stones in shades of gold and rose. The sky was clear, washed clean by the storm. Inside the open chest, the treasure glowed softly, reflecting the colors of the rising sun. Tanim and I stood in silence, drenched and exhausted, but filled with a sense of profound awe. We watched as the first rays of light fell upon the royal seal, the symbol of a kingdom that was, for a moment, reborn through our discovery. The real treasure wasn't the gold or the jewels. It was the proof, the connection to a lost chapter of our history. We left the chest and its glittering contents for the authorities to rightfully claim. We carried only one thing away with us: the royal seal. As we walked away from the silent ruins, a gentle wind stirred through the ancient halls, and it seemed to carry with it the whispers of stories long forgotten, now finally heard once more.